Welcome to Subtraction of Decimals. Subtraction of decimals is a relatively simple skill also, just like addition of decimals. In fact, it's almost exactly the same except we're subtracting. We have to rewrite the problem lining up the decimal points and then we subtract. Now here we have a whole number minus 24 hundredths. Well, we know the whole number has a decimal point here. And now we line up the 24 hundredths and we have to put our zeros here as placeholders. And then we just we put our decimal point down here and then we just simply subtract. Well, I cannot subtract here, so I have to borrow. This becomes 5. That becomes 10, but I have to borrow from that 10 and make that 9 so that this can become 10. And now I can subtract. 10, take away 4 is 6. 9 minus 2 is 7. And 5, take away 0 or take away nothing, is 5. So if I have 6, the whole number 6 minus 24 hundredths, I rewrite the problem, lining it up, making sure I put the decimal to the right of the whole number, put my placeholders in and subtract, and I get 5 and 76 thousandths. Let's try another one. Okay, let's take a look at this. 5 minus 246 thousandths. 5 minus 246 thousandths. Well, let's rewrite the problem. This is a whole number 5, so I know there's a decimal there. Now I have 246 thousandths. I have to line up my decimal, put zeros in as placeholders, and now I subtract. Well, I'm going to have to borrow 1 over here, make that 4. This becomes 10, but I have to borrow 9. This becomes 10, but I have to borrow and make that 9, and this becomes 10. And now I can subtract. 10, take away 6, gives me 4. 9, take away 4, gives me 5. 9, take away 2, gives me 7. 4, take away nothing, gives me 4. And so, when I subtract 246 thousandths from the whole number 5, I get 4 and 754 thousandths as an answer. Good. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of problems up for you to work. Let you get, well, no, let me do one more. Let's subtract 49 hundredths minus 87 thousandths. Well, I don't have any whole number here, so I just rewrite the problem, making sure that I line up my decimals, and then I'm going to put a 0 as a placeholder here. My decimal point is going to go here, and now I subtract. Well, I can't take here, so I have to borrow and make this an 8, and this becomes 10. 10, take away 7 gives me 3. 8, take away 8 gives me 0. 4, take away 0 gives me 4. So when I subtract 87 thousandths from 49 hundredths, I get 403 thousandths. Good job. Okay. Now, time for you to work some problems. Let's have you do this one first. 10 minus 15 hundredths. Put the video on pause, work the problem, and then turn the video back on and we'll go over it. Okay, well, we have a whole number, 10. We know a decimal goes here. We have 15 hundredths. We know we have to line up the decimal points, so that goes there. We'll put 2 zeros as placeholders. Make sure we put our decimal place here, and now we do our subtraction. Well, we're going to have to borrow 1, and that's going to become 0, and that'll be 10, which becomes 9, and this becomes 10. We have to borrow that, and that becomes 10. All right, so now 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 1 is 8. 9 take away 0 is 9. And this is 0, so there's nothing there. So, if we subtract 15 hundredths from the whole number 10, we get 9 and 85 hundredths. 9 and 85 hundredths. Let's give you another problem here. Let's give you 4 7/10 minus 266 thousandths. All right, put the video on pause and go ahead and work that problem and then turn the video back on again. Okay. Well, we know we're going to rewrite the problem. So we have 4 7/10, and now we have 266 thousandths, and we know we have to line that up. And we're going to put our placeholders in, and we're going to put our decimal point here, and we're subtracting. Well, we're going to have to borrow from the 7 and make that a 6, which will make this a 10, but then we have to borrow from the 10, make that 9, and that becomes 10. 10 take away 6 will give me 4. 9 take away 6 will give me 3. 6 take away 2 will give me 4. 4 take away 0, or nothing, would give me 4. So my answer is 4 and 434 thousandths. Well, fine. Fine. Again, this is a very simple skill. All you have to remember to do is, if you're given a whole number, like we had this, when we rewrite the problem, we have to put the decimal after it. We line up, put our decimal here, use our placeholders, and then we just subtract. Well, good. That's all there is to the subtraction of decimals. And I think in the next lesson we'll actually try to do some real world application problems. We'll see you then. Thank you.